Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie, if you did not know, now you do. And in today's video, I am going to be going through 23 books I want to read in 2023. Let's get started. So the first book I want to read in 2023 is called A Simple Favor by Darcy Bell. If you don't know, they actually made a movie about it with Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively. I technically already kind of know what the twist is, but I want to read the book adaptation because I feel like the twist was so good in the movie, I want to read the book. I haven't actually seen all of the movie, I've seen bits and pieces. The twist in the movie was so good that I want to read the book and just read the original version. So the second and third book I want to read are actually Ninth House and Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. I've just been seeing these books like everywhere and they're like so popular in Barnes & Noble right now. I'm just really intrigued. I want to read them. I want to know what they're about. I think I read something about a secret society in Yale. It's giving me very dark academia vibes, and I'm for that. So I want to read that. So for number 4, I want to read Really Good Actually by, I think her name's Monica Heisey? This one I think is a newer book, but first of all, the cover is adorable. I love seeing the pictures of people like putting it half over their face. I can't remember exactly what the book's about. I just remember I really wanted to read it. And I think it's about this woman getting her life together. I don't know. It just looks really interesting, and I honestly just love the cover, and I am totally a person that will pick a book based on its cover alone. It looks cute, and I've been seeing it everywhere lately. Next, we have The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. This one is another one that's like a book versus movie adaptation I really want to do, especially because the movie has Lucy Hale, and I love Lucy Hale. The book I've heard really, really good things about. I have not heard a single bad thing about The Hating Game. It looks like a really good book, and I've read the back a couple times. I love enemies to lovers. Me and my husband are enemies to lovers, so it's got a special place in my heart. But yeah, it just looks like a really good book, and I would like to point out, by the way, 90% of the books on my list I don't physically have copies of yet. So these are like a good 15-20 books I'm gonna have to buy. That I get to buy, actually. So next we have Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. Another one I've been hearing so many good things about. If I remember correctly, I think it was Sarah Caroli who loved it. She had nothing but good things to say about it. I can't for the life of me remember what this book is about, just because I haven't read the back in a while, because when I go to the store I'm like, oh my god, I should pick this up, and then I never do. But I really want to read it. I've heard really good things, and it's all over Book Talk, and I just think it'll be a fun read. I don't know, maybe I'm like totally setting myself up for failure here by just like remembering vaguely that it might be a good read, but I'm down to clown. I want to read it. Okay, so the next two, I actually have one of the books, the physical copy. This book is being made into a movie, and these books are insane on Book Talk. Like I kid you not, all over Book Talk. For mixed reasons though. At first all I heard was good things about this book, and then all I was hearing was bad things about this book, and so I kind of want to make a conclusion on my own. I'm under the impression that some people think this was marketed as a romance, and it's actually not. It's a story about surviving domestic violence. So trigger warning if you're gonna read this. And that is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover and It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. I heard that this one's really, really good, but the other one kind of fell flat because the other one is more of a romance. I'm not sure. I've had this book for a while. I've had it recommended to me so many times by so many people. So many booktubers have talked about how much they love it. Alexa Ray loves Colleen Hoover. I mean, a lot of people think that this is marketed as a romance, but even at looking at the cover, I knew going into it was going to be sad. But even on the back, I feel like it kind of hints to Ryle's, issues, his inability to be a decent person. I don't know. I want to read it. And I heard that they've got Justin Baldoni doing Ryle, and I love Justin Baldoni. Next we have Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. This is actually going to be for a video. I'm super excited. But I have not heard anything bad about Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. If I'm remembering correctly, it's like a time loop story, which they can be, those can be either be really, really good or really, really bad. And I feel like everyone's been saying that Love and Other Words was really, really good, and it was done very well. And so I kind of want to like see for myself, because it's very Groundhog Day. It's very, very that episode of Supernatural where Heat of the Moment plays 1,000 times and Dean dies like every time, and Sam's trying to figure out why he's dying.
Rise and shine, Sammy.
But like with romance and the holidays. So it's not like one day keeps repeating from what I understand. I think it's like a whole holiday season. So like a whole couple, like a week or two that she just keeps repeating. And I want to know why. I'm intrigued. I want to know why. And it was recommended to me by a very special person that you will find out about in a future video. Next we have Better Than the Movies by Lee Painter. I've not heard a single bad thing about this book. And I cannot wait to read it. I feel like it'll be a good little romance. Maybe I'll read it after Valentine's Day. I have a book I have to read for Valentine's Day because it's a Valentine's Day themed book. But it looks so good. It looks like Second Chance Lovers, maybe? I haven't read the back of this in a while, but I feel like this could be really good, and I'm very excited. Next, we have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. First of all, that title is like a mouthful sometimes. And I also have Daisy Jones and the Six. I believe those are both by Taylor Jenkins Reid. First of all, I think both of them, Daisy Jones and the Six is a TV show, I think, and it's got Sam Claflin. Claflin? However you pronounce his name. I just heard so many good things about both stories, and they're all over Book Talk, and I know that shouldn't be the only thing making my decision about what I read, but it's so good. I've heard that it's so good, that they're both so good, and I need to read them. I feel like I am empty without having read these books. Next is Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. Again, another Sarah Caroli recommendation. This girl's got a chokehold on me. She had nothing but good things to say about this book. I think she might have said the pacing was weird. I don't really remember. But I do know that she kind of got me in a chokehold with her review of this book, and now I have to read it. I just have to read it now. I don't know. Next is It's All Love by Jenna Ortega, and I actually had this on my TBR before Jenna Ortega went viral for her Wednesday Addams dance. I think that this is like an essay poems kind of book, and I don't know. I just remember seeing it in Barnes & Noble like a couple years ago, like when it first got published. I don't remember when it was exactly. Editing Catherine, maybe put that over here somewhere. I remember seeing it in the store and I was like, oh, Jenna Ortega, I like her. I've seen some of her stuff. She's really good. She was like, you know, stuck in the middle, whatever. But I didn't buy it because I was like, I didn't have the money at the time, or I think I had other books I wanted to buy first. I just want to read it because I had it on my thing before, and I'm very interested to see like how she went about writing a book. I don't know. I feel like I really love her. She's very talented, and I just want to see if her writing translates all of that, if that makes sense. Next is Luckiest Girl Alive by Jessica Knoll, I believe is how you pronounce it. Again, another book to movie adaptation. The movie has Mila Kunis in it, if I remember correctly. I think this is supposed to be based off a semi-true story, and that intrigues me. But it just seems like a really good book, and again, the thriller, love thrillers. I think this one is going to be another book versus movie adaptation video, but I'm really excited because I think I've had the book on my TBR for a while anyways before I heard about the movie. And it just sounds like a very interesting story that I want to read about. I don't know. Next is The Court of the Vampire Queen by, I believe, Katie Robert. I have heard it gives Buffy and Spike or Cat and Bones, very like a vampire romance, enemies to lovers. And look, I normally hate vampire romances. I do not like Twilight. Don't come for me. I hate it. I heard this is like better. And I am a big Buffy Spike fan. I love Spike, which is the only reason why I read the Janine Frost Night Hunter series, is because my sister said Bones was exactly like Spike, so now I love. So this makes me want to read this book because I've heard it's kind of similar to that as well. Not storyline wise, but character wise. And I feel like the characters really are a big part in some of the books I read. If I don't like the characters, I don't want to read the book. Even if the plot was like the best plot in the world, I'm not going to read the book. Next is I Fell in Love with Hope by Lan Callie, I believe. Lan Callie. I actually got this recommended to me by a friend, and then I saw her TikTok literally an hour later. TikTok is listening, and I even bought the signed copy. It's signed. First of all, this book is beautiful. I believe she's self-published, and this is about, I believe, people with terminal diseases falling in love, and I've heard that this is terribly sad. Like, incredible, like, make you sob your eyes out within the first 100 pages. Kind of sad. And I want to read it. And the author is also writing another book that I'm very, very, very excited for. The next book she's writing, I believe, is about, like, a woman investigating a murder with a ghost, and the ghost falls in love with her, but she doesn't know that the ghost is the murderer. I don't know. It's really wild. I have not heard anything bad about her writing at all. I've heard great things, and I just really want to read this book. And also, can we talk about how beautiful that cover is. Can we talk about this for a second? This is stunning, and I love it, and this is beautiful. And Callie, if you're watching, which you're almost definitely not watching, this is beautiful, and I can't wait to read this. Next is The Island by Natasha Preston. Now, if you do not know me personally, you do not know that I'm a Natasha Preston stan. I've read almost every single one of her books, especially her thrillers. I love them. However, you will have me hear opinions about The Cabinet and The Fear. The Island, it intrigues me. I think it's about influencers going on this like exclusive island kind of thing. I don't even think the book's come out yet, but I want to read this. I will be reading this book in 2023. So next one has a controversial title, and B, talks about very serious topics. So trigger warning if you plan on reading this, but it is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. First of all, I love Jeanette McCurdy. She was actually my favorite character in iCarly. Her and Spencer were my favorite characters. And so after she left Nickelodeon, she was very vocal, I think, if I remember correctly, about like the stuff went on. A lot of Nickelodeon stars are vocal about it now. I just want to read about her experiences because she talks about some very serious topics like eating disorders and depression. I really want to read about her experiences because I loved her character growing up. I feel like it's important to read what she went through to know why, she doesn't do the iCarly show anymore and stuff like that. I feel like this is a very important book that needs to be read by everyone. Everyone was really pissed about the title, but I heard that once you read the book, the title's gonna make sense because her mom was kind of a POS, if I'm remembering correctly. I need to read this book. This book is probably gonna be a really soon one, actually. Next is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I've already read one of Emily Henry's books. For some reason, Beach Read. I read Beach Read. I don't know why that took me so long to remember. And I have heard nothing bad about Emily Henry's books either. She's just one of those books that's like really good. I just love the fact that they're book people too in the books. I always just love that. So I'm sorry I'm not giving much information, by the way, on these books. Half of them, I know I want to read and I just don't really have a reason to. I just really want to read them. I loved Beach Read. I annotated the crap out of that book. So this has to be read this year. Next is The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. I've heard that this book is so good. I guess it's about final girls and they're in a support group, but I guess they start like dying off or something and they have to like figure out like who's killing these people. And I'm just so amped because it's giving Sydney Prescott from Scream and I love her. I've heard really good things about this book. I'm very picky about books like that, especially like the thriller kind of books. I'm very picky. I feel like they have to be done right and I want to read it. Next is Reviving Ophelia. It's by Mary Piper, PhD, and Sarah Piper Gillam. So this book was originally published in '94, I believe, about problems faced by adolescent girls. And then this version is the revised version, so it's updated to like current times, I guess. It just talks about women and the way they grow up, the stuff they suffer through adolescence, like depression, anxiety. It's gonna touch on some sensitive topics, and I really want to read it. I feel like this is something I should have read when I was in high school, honestly. I think it even has like real life stories of people, like of young women and the stuff they went through when they were growing up as a young woman in whatever day and age. And I feel like I think it touches on like eating disorders as well. I think it's a really important book. I want to go through and I want to read it. And I honestly, one day when I have a daughter, I want to keep it and I want to have her go through and read it if it's as good as I believe it's going to be. So the last book I want to read in 2023 is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. Now, not for the reason people are thinking. I want to read this book because of all the mixed reviews. Some people say it's really good. Some people say it's garbage. I want to read it because I want to know if it's garbage. Now, again, you can't always base your judgments on a book based on somebody else, but I feel like I just want to know. I want to know if this book is garbage or not, or if it's just the people reading its opinion. I want to know. It's been all over my For You page on TikTok lately of people being like, this book is garbage. Why did this get published? Or this book is so good. I need to read it. So guys, that is everything I want to read in 2023. I hope you kind of enjoyed this video. If not, I'm sorry. I hope this gave you some like book ideas to read in 2023. I want to say thank you to all of the 12 to 15 people that watched my first video. You guys rock. If you enjoyed this video, you can do all the I enjoyed this video stuff, like, subscribe, comment, whatever. If you have any more book recs that you think I should read in 2023, please do comment those because I really want to know. I want to make my TBR as full as possible. My goal is to read 50 books this year. I'm already at 8 and I'm currently reading Pretty Little Liars right now. So 8.5. And I'm really hoping to beat my book goal this year. And if you have any video ideas or anything like that, just let me know. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can message me on my Instagram. You can comment it, whatever. Just hit me up. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!